Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about this little guy, the Chanel Equinoxe blushes, and this is in the shade Beige et Corail, and also a couple of the loose eyeshadows. So if you wanted to see how to get this look and what my thoughts are on the fall collection, then just keep watching. Okay, so foundation is done. I'm wearing same old Revlon Colorstay in the shade 180 Sand Beige. I am wearing the Caliray So Blown primer. I've got some of the Merit oil on as well. I did my bronzer. So bronzer, I'm wearing the Chanel bronzer, and I believe the shade medium. That was the oversized bronzer. And I did my brows. What else? Oh, concealer. I'm wearing that Makeup by Mario concealer again. I feel like it does look better today. And maybe that's because I was doing my makeup in the bathroom and it made everything look very dark and like sallow, and I don't know. It is looking better today. It's still not quite as smooth as Natasha Denona, but it's not as bad as I thought it was. So I think it's growing on me a little bit. So anyway, the reason that you're here, I'm going to start with the blush. So this is the Douceur d'Equinoxe Harmonie de... Like you're putting English words and French words together. Harmonie de Blushes. Harmonie de Blushes. Blush Harmony, okay? $7.97 Beige et Corail. Et Corail is the shade. So this is beige and coral in English. So this is the beige and coral side. This is the rose and mauve side. So I wasn't sure which one to get, but this one from the beginning kind of just spoke to me the most. I know a lot of people were comparing the rose and mauve side to the Gucci rosy beige. And I do think it's similar enough that I didn't need it. I mean, I don't need any of it, but I just thought this one was so pretty. So I will read you a little bit about it. First, I'll show you what the packaging looks like. So it came in the little pouch and typical Chanel packaging. Does come with a little brush. I might actually use the brush, I don't know. And then that comes off. It's just laying on the top there. And this is the shade. And you can see it does have that leaf embossing. And then the beige is actually imprinted in there. It's not just like an overspray or anything. It actually goes below. And I believe it will go all the way down to the bottom. But yeah, I will swatch both of those for you. But first, like I said, I will read a little bit about the product. It does have a scent. I can already smell the scent. So it is identical to the bronzer scent. So if you know what that smells like, it's the same. Definitely perfumey. If you don't like scents, you might not like it. Like I could tell as soon as I opened it, and I don't really get bothered by scents. So here's a little info. So 2 blush harmonies featuring 1 intense shade paired with 1 more delicate shade call to mind the contrasts of color and light that are characteristic of the fall equinox. Soft, warm hues accentuate the cheekbones and impart radiance to the face for a natural-looking, healthy glow and luminous finish. A lot of people were saying that this blush was matte. It does look matte in the packaging, but on the skin it could be different. I did see a video where someone used it and it was very glowy. Actually, I'm gonna find her channel for you because her video was awesome. She did a different loose pigment shade than I have. So if I can remember her name, I will post it down below. So here we go. Sorry. The blanket of leaves delicately embossed on the powder surface is a tribute to autumn, Gabrielle Chanel's favorite season, aka Coco Chanel. I did not realize in my last video, I was like, Gabrielle or Coco? Same person. Coco was just a nickname. The design upon which the emblematic Chanel double C is engraved Also evokes the cycle of seasons and the idea of perpetual renewal. So the shade descriptions are beige et corail, a beige paired with a muted coral, beige rosé et mauve, a rosy beige together with a mauve. These are limited edition, and it just says, using the brush that is included, apply the Douceur d'Equinoxe blush to the cheekbones for a warm, luminous finish. Apply a light layer for a natural makeup look. Add a second layer to intensify the color and effect. From what I've seen, these are actually quite pigmented. I really don't want to ruin the embossing, but I know I will. I'm just going to try to get this beige shade. I don't know how. I don't know how to do it without... Maybe I'll take a brush of some sort here. I just want to get that beige shade, but I seem to be getting both shades when I dip my finger in. My fingers are too fat. So the beige shade is really just beige. Like, you cannot really see it at all on my skin tone anyway. So this is what the coral looks like. My swatching skills are just not great. So that's the coral shade, and I will do a couple comparisons as well. And then I'm gonna mix them. So that's them mixed. So just basically a lighter coral shade, and I'm sad it's ruined. It's gonna happen anyways, but you know, I will go in with this little brush first and see what we can do. I don't know that this is the best brush to use, but I mean, I know it's not. Very pretty. I was worried this might be a little too close to Gucci's Soft Red, but I will do the comparison. And I did see other people compare the two, and I thought there was enough of a difference that I could have this one. So what I am gonna do, I do see a little bit of that kind of sheen. I'm gonna grab a blush brush. I don't know which one to use. I never know which brush to use. Probably because all of them are dirty right now. I just came back from my trip and most of them are dirty. Let's see. Maybe I'll use this guy here. It looks like there's not much on here. So I'm just going to wipe it off. Have a little towel here. Okay, so I'm gonna mix the two shades now. And I do want to give you just like a little bit deeper of a swatch so you can really see how much pigment you can actually get. When I first swatched it, I was a little scared because it looked very bright, and I was like, what? This is not what it looks like. In person it looks, you know, deep. Like, it looks like a deeper kind of terracotta corally shade. But actually on the face, that is what it's looking like. So that's good. Sorry, I have a little nose whistle for some reason. That's very pretty. I would probably jump on these if you're interested. I just feel like these are obviously going to sell out sooner than later. I saw these I'm in Canada. I saw these in Shoppers Drug Mart. I saw them on the Bay. Chanel Canada has them. Holt Renfrew has them. So you do have quite a few options. I think you definitely have time before they sell out, but I know once things start going, they go quick, and so I would maybe just get on it if it's something you're interested in. So that's what it's looking like. Very pretty. So I'm going to put a highlight on. Which highlight should I use? I have a Chanel one, but that one is no longer in stock. I don't know if this one is either, but I think I'm going to use it anyways because it's probably more readily available than the other one. So this is the 4 shade, this guy here in Tendresse. So I'm going to use the highlight in here. It's just kind of like a peachy highlight. Sorry if you can hear what's going on outside. My window's open. Maybe I should have closed that. So that just gives like a tiny bit of peach. Sorry about that. Somebody was doing some sort of mowing of some sort, but this is what we are looking like, and I do think that is very pretty. It does definitely give me some Gucci vibes, the soft red, but like I said, I will compare the two. First, I am going to, sorry, I just have it pulled up here. That's what's going on. I'm going to search the loose eyeshadows. I'm going to put those on first, and then I will do some swatch comparisons, but I don't know why I'm out of breath right now. So let's look up the loose eyeshadow details. So I do have 2 shades. I have Acacia and I have Cedre Cuivre. So 406 and 408. And let's just read about that, shall we? I think Sycamore is really nice, and I almost feel like I should have got that one instead because it just seems super wearable. So the actual name of these are Ombre, Premiere, Libre, Loose Eyeshadow Intense, Longwear Color. So here's the description. The first loose eyeshadow by Chanel, whose natural and sophisticated shades echo the colors of the fall equinoxe, the start of Gabrielle Chanel's favorite season. Composed of pearlescent particles and intense pigments, Ombre Premiere Libre offers deep, vibrant color with a luminous satin sheen. Light and powdery, its texture is as fine as a puff of dust, becoming creamy upon application for a smooth finish. Its long-lasting formula delivers a flawless eye look for up to 8 hours. The eyeshadow has a sponge tip applicator built into the cap, making it easy to use on the go. I'm going to disagree with that because it's loose, so I definitely wouldn't use it on the go. I just be careful. I wouldn't do that on the go, but that's just me. If you're a pro, you could probably make it work. It's semi-transparent black bottle, features a gradient effect that allows its 6 vibrant luminous shades to show through. So here are the shade descriptions. So I have Cedre Cuivre, which is a copper, and Acacia, which is a burnt sienna. So there's also Sycamore, which is a warm beige, Chêne Brun, a hazelnut brown, Bois d'Amarante, a garnet, and Mûrier Noir, an aubergine. And these are also limited edition. Okay, I did not know that. So it says to apply a small amount of powder with the built-in sponge tip applicator and lightly tap off excess product. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to apply it with a brush. Sweep directly onto the eyelids using the applicator. Apply a second layer for even richer, more intense color. Okay, so that's what we need to know. And let's go. So I'm gonna try both, but I think I want to wear Acacia more than I want to wear Cedre Cuivre. But I'll obviously show you what they look like. So this is Cedre Cuivre, which is number 406. I will swatch that for you just to show you how much pigment comes off. A lot. So I will show you this once I just blend that out. You can see it went on obviously much darker than what it actually looks. I feel if I wear this one, it's going to be like too much orange. And I don't know how I feel about that. I also want to show you one thing. Actually, I don't know where it is, but I believe it's Maybelline actually did this first quite a while ago. So this isn't like some brand new invention. It's been done before, but maybe it's newer to Chanel, obviously. So I'm going to go in with the Makeup by Ariel brush in A29. So what I'm going to do, I don't know if I want to work off of my hand or work off of the brush, but definitely tap off some of that excess off on the side, but you see how much product is on the side already. So I think I'm going to work off of my hand, and you see that pigment there. And I do have a little creasing from my eye primer. I always use the MAC paint pot in soft ochre. So this is nice, but again, I would maybe not use this blush at the same time as I would use this eyeshadow, only because I feel like it's just too much orange on me. And I'd probably use it with like a more deeper, maybe something like Warm Berry by Gucci. I think it would look really nice with, but it is very pretty. It's a very nice shade. So I'm gonna do Acacia on the other side. I'm just gonna wipe this brush off. But you can see that's the pigment on that, and it does definitely have a sheen, kind of like a pearlescence to it. But let's go in with Acacia. I also think Shane Brun looks really nice, but I'm not getting any more. I mean, I have enough eyeshadow. So this is Acacia. We'll swatch it on the hand for you. This one I feel is kind of like more up my alley. It's kind of like a more browny reddish tone. So again, I'm going to work off of my hand. So you see it's very pigmented and it's very loose. So if you're on the go, probably would not use it on the go. Just seems like a little bit messy. But there are definitely ways to use this that work and that don't get messy. And I think probably working off of your hand or working directly off of, like with a brush, off of the sponge tip applicator would work best. But I have seen people who have just kind of tapped it off on the side and then went in. As long as you tap it off, I think you're good. So this is Acacia. I definitely think I prefer this shade. But this one is very pretty. I would mix this one with like a brown, I think. So I think what I'm going to do is go over this one with this color. I might have to mix in some of the other shade just to kind of even them out, but I just want them to look the same. And I think I'll just even them out and I will be right back. Okay, so I have them both on. It's looking not very blended right now. This one looks a little bit more red than this one. I feel like I need to even that out a little bit more. I'm not gonna worry about it right now, but I'm gonna go in with, look at my bronzer, my NARS bronzer, just to soften this a little bit. Because I was using a flat brush, I'm just using a fluffy brush just to soften the edges. So it's looking a little bit harsh. And I feel like that's why you might want to use a brush, because I feel like just with the sponge, what it does is disperse pigment onto that one spot. So you really have to make sure you're kind of blending it out. And I've seen where people were getting a tiny bit of patchiness because it was just kind of dropping on that one spot and they weren't able to get it to really like blend out. They are super blendable when using a brush though. So like you can see I blended that out pretty quickly. Just go in with a tiny bit more. I am still finding this one a tiny bit more orange, so maybe I'll add just the tiniest touch more of the 406, that orangier toned kind of copper Maybe I'll put that on this eye a little bit more. And I think I'm gonna try it with my finger. But you're definitely seeing that sheen. So these are not matte. So maybe I'll go in with a little bit. Oh, see, I just opened it, and when I opened it, I got some on my dresser. So some of that loose pigment, I'm literally going with my finger from what fell on the dresser and adding a touch more. I think that looks nice. So what I'm going to do, whoop, frick, I almost dropped it and it was not closed properly. So here are the two. This packaging is really nice. I like the gradient. It's definitely weighted. It kind of gives you a like Westman Atelier type feel, like her products are very weighted, and this is no different. And they are glass, and then the CCs are just at the top. But yeah, it does feel really nice. I think I'm gonna go in with just like a winged liner and add some mascara, and I will be right back. Okay, so liner is on. I just used the Fenty Beauty Flyliner in the shade in Big Truffle. So that's this one here. It's definitely a little warmer toned. And then in the waterline, I used the Essence Long Lasting Eye Pencil in the shade Hot Chocolate, 18-hour wear, or 18-hour plus waterproof. And then I use the Huda Beauty One Coat Wow mascara. I'm actually really enjoying this mascara, I'm not gonna lie. And for lips, I will do it on camera because it doesn't take me that long. And my usual, is this getting discontinued? Because I am having a hard time finding it. I'm gonna order it off Amazon because I see it's still there. But this is the lip pencil in the shade Nude Beige. My little nub. And then I think I'm gonna use this. I think this is the Rimmel Lasting Finish Lipstick in the shade 40. And I wore that pretty much the whole time I was on my trip. By the way, I was so sad. I came home and I just started crying because I just spent 10 days with my nephew. And they don't live here, and it's so sad. And just spending that much time with him, like, you really get to know his personality. And we were there for his first birthday. And it was just so sad leaving. Okay. So I'm gonna add that lipstick. Is that too light? I don't know. I don't know if I like it with this eye. Maybe I'll add a little bit of yash. This might be a little too warm for my liking. Why do I do this all the time? I'm so sorry. But at least you're seeing that it's real, and how many different lipsticks I usually use. Do we need to cool it down a bit? Do we need to go in with good old reliable number 32 cream lip stain? We might. Just the tiniest bit. It looks so light, like my camera really just washes me out so bad. And so my lips look like concealer lips, where they don't really look like that in person. They look darker in person, but yeah. I do really like the look of this eyeshadow though. Do you think it's very pretty? Is it practical? Not really. Like, it's kind of annoying, to be honest. Which I had a feeling it would be because I had the Maybelline one and I just know they're annoying. But it is very pretty, and I would say if you're interested in any of the shades, you can definitely learn to work with it. If that's not something that you want to do, if you're like, I don't want to have to work on it, like I want just something easy, then maybe just stick with palettes. But the shades are very pretty. Again, this is Acacia mixed with that Cedre Cuivre color, so 406 and 408 are the shades, and I really do like the blush, so I'm going to show you a couple colors I think might be similar to the blush. Sorry. This is one of them, which I think maybe, this is the Tiger palette. I think maybe that might be similar, but this looks maybe a little too dark orange, like a burnt orange. But let's check it out. Okay, I have way too much stuff on my desk and that's why things are falling. But this is what I do. So I'm just gonna wipe my hand here. And we'll try this one. So this is what this shade looks like. This is the Tiger palette again. And this one I think just looks way more orange. But we shall see. Like this one almost has like a reddish kind of tone to it. Not red, but definitely different. Yeah. So not really that comparable. So that's this one. I'll show you them together. So you could see what I mean. Like this almost looks a little more red. Okay, so we will now compare it to the one that I thought would look the most similar, which is the Soft Red by Gucci. This is the shade number 8. And this is what we're looking like. Again, this might not be exact, but I think on the face they do look similar. And I wore this the other day. I was like, I forgot how much I loved this. So, I mean, they are pretty similar. This one definitely looks brighter, and the Chanel looks a little bit deeper. But I'm gonna say if you have that one, you may not need this one. And there's one more that I wanted to swatch, which is in the Tendresse palette. I think that one's gonna be definitely more peachy though. Which is this one here. Yeah, I don't really think that one's gonna be a dupe or anything. Okay, it's a little closer than I thought it was. Well, shoot. Okay, so those three are actually quite similar, but all in all, I do think the Chanel is just a little bit deeper in tone. But, you know, that one doesn't look anything like it if you just look at them, but the swatches are kind of similar. I actually think in person, these two look way more alike than they do to the Chanel. So again, the Chanel is in the middle, Soft Red, and then this is the Tendresse palette. So those are the only comparisons I really have. I don't really think I have anything else that's even remotely close to it, but this is what it looks like on the face. Guess I could use a little cleanup there. But yeah, it's very pretty. I think that if you're interested, maybe get it sooner than later, just because I do think they are going to probably sell out quickly. But like I said, there are a ton of retailers, especially in Canada that I know of, that are still carrying them. Holt Renfrew, they're both still available. Chanel Canada, The Bay, and then the, what other one? Chanel boutiques, obviously, or Shoppers Drug Mart. So yeah, definitely check it out. And I do really like how the eyeshadow turned out as well. So all in all, I think this was a win and I don't regret purchasing them. Maybe the copper toned one, just because they are quite similar. They're obviously not exactly the same. One is more red, one is more orangey copper tone, but yeah, I think they're very pretty and I'm happy. And I do think this is a nice kind of transition into fall from summer. Not that I'm rushing fall because I love summer and I love the heat, but yeah, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned. I do have some other videos coming. I'm not sure which one's going to be first, but the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette, and also the Dior, which is might be a kind of similar look, but the Dior Rouge Saga. So thank you so much for watching and I love ya. Bye.